Just the other day, in my hometown in Illinois, a 14-year-old boy was shot and killed by another young child. Unfortunately, this has become all too common where I'm from. I mean, in the last decade, I've seen with my own eyes the city go from a place that's joyful, optimistic, and safe to a place of sorrow, pessimism, and violence. But what followed was indeed uncommon. It seemed the community had reached its breaking point with accepting children dying to gun violence as normal, and it prompted a very robust and honest discussion, and it forced people to take a very hard look in the mirror and realize how destructive and deadly Black culture has become. I've wanted to talk about the cultural epidemic in the Black community for a while, and this tragic occurrence in my hometown brought it back to the front of my mind. But even so, I didn't make a video. I was going to discuss it when Carmelo Anthony stabbed and killed Austin Metcalf. But I didn't, because we didn't know the facts, and I didn't want to take part in sensationalizing the murder of a kid and engage in a topic that was racially dividing people. When the whole Black fatigue trend was going on, I thought about making a video then. But I didn't, because from all of the videos that I saw about it, everyone covered what I would have said, and I didn't feel as if I could add any unique insight to that. But there was a video that I saw today on X, and it was the straw that broke the camel's back. I usually refrain from harping on the problems within the Black culture in an overly pessimistic way, because there's no point. We all know it's true. Even Black people know it's true. I can rattle off the common stats: 13% commits 50% of violent crimes, the per capita rate that we're on welfare, the number of children in single-parent households. But that's not important to this video, because we can just assume the premise is correct. The Black culture is in a really bad place. I'm a solution-based person, and I've always looked at the cultural problems through a lens of optimism, trying to find opportunities where I can help to improve the situation, rather than just pointing out what's wrong with it. It's like telling a fat person that they're fat, rather than trying to get them in the gym. But with the video I saw today, and just recently, broadly speaking, I've been starting to lose my optimism that Black culture can be saved, that Black culture even wants to be saved. Now, as a mixed man who supports Donald Trump, I've heard from every side: the pretentious white liberals, other Black people. When was America ever great for Black people? And they always look at me crazy when I tell them post-World War II, all the way up until 1965. Oh, but segregation and white supremacy and institutional racism. Yeah, fine. I didn't say it was easier to be Black in America then than it is today. I'm saying Black people as a whole, as a demographic, as a culture, were better then. We were dignified. We had self-respect. We were united. We weren't killing each other in the streets. We had polite, God-fearing, two-parent households. We had role models that glorified intelligence and articulation. We were extremely gifted and talented at music and shaped a lot of American culture through it. If the Black people today were the ones back then fighting for civil rights, we would have never gotten it. The argument then, which was a sympathetic one, is we are decent, civilized, God-fearing people, and we want to be part of decent, civilized, God-fearing society. And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the liberal argument that America today is a white supremacist country, is institutionally racist towards Black people, that today it's just as bad as the Jim Crow South? So if their argument is it's racist today and it was racist then they cancel each other out. So all you have left to compare is the culture. And the Black culture in the 40s, 50s, and 60s is vastly superior to what we have today. It has been 60 years since the Civil Rights Act was passed. 3 generations, and look what we have to show for it. Black culture today sullies the efforts of our ancestors. As soon as we got civil rights, what happened? We just started taking the government's money. Free urban housing, food stamps, welfare. The white man dangled some free stuff in front of our face, sold it as a type of reparation, and we fell for it and became lifelong government dependents. Lyndon Johnson even said, "We'll lose the Southern vote for a generation, but we'll gain the Black vote for 200 years. That's why I'm so perplexed that black people will perpetually vote for the party that effectuated our downfall at a 90 to 95% tick every election. The Republicans were against the Civil Rights Act, so they are racist. And the Democrat Party has ran with that same message for the last 60 years. And Hollywood has capitalized on glorifying the inner city violence that Democrat policies caused. And who's Hollywood run by? Certainly not the right. Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red for the ladies. Influence them to be as ratchet and ghetto and obnoxious as possible. Show them that their true value as a woman comes from shaking their ass fat. And then for the men, a bunch of gang rappers who constantly brag about murdering people, committing crime, and literally being domestic terrorists. How, as a culture, can we expect others to take us seriously when we allow this level of degeneracy to represent us in mainstream media? And the real problem with all of this is the disastrous effect that it is having on the black youth. And that leads me to show you the video that prompted me to go on this rant. This is a popular streamer and his son on live stream. Take a look.
Tell that nigga fuck him, man. Tell him. Tell him fuck him, nigga. Fuck him, nigga, man. Hey, real gangster shit. Man, I ain't tell him again. Say you pussy boy.
Pussy boy.
Yeah. Tell him you ain't like that boy.
You don't like that boy.
Tell me I really left you.
I really left you.
She really left you.
I really left you.
Straight pussy.
Straight pussy.
Say straight pussy.
Straight pussy.
Hey, say when I catch you, I'ma bat the piss out you.
When you come over here, that means I'm about to piss
Nah,
off.
say if you ever have a son, I'ma smack your son. Say it.
We ever have a son, I could smack your son.
Yeah, straight up! Straight the fuck like that!
My only question here is why? Why are you publicly encouraging your kid to engage in bad behavior? The kid knows it's bad. That's why he doesn't want to say it. But he's being encouraged by his dad to do so as if it's positive. He knows he's on live stream. He sees the chat loving it. So he thinks it's performative. I cannot for the life of me fathom why you would intentionally try to corrupt your child. I don't know why you would encourage your kid to be a thug when we have way too many of them already running around. And I know this guy knows this. There are kids 13, 14, 15 years old running around with military-grade weaponry with literally no care in the world and a general lack of respect for human life. I can't stress this enough for the people who don't actually understand this issue. There are teenagers walking around with automatic Glocks with a 50-round clip who think they have the right to walk around and absolutely impose their will on any and everybody. And if you even for a second think about telling them what to do, they might respond with deadly violence. And these kids are doing this simply because they think it's cool. They are being a menace for the sake of being a menace. They are doing it for the love of the game. Like, I've spoken to a classroom of at-risk black youth, and I promise you, they just don't care. Least of all about you. And it's definitely not all of them. Some of them actually do care. Some of them actually do want to be positive, but they're peer pressured by bad influences. The only difference is usually when you're a teenager and you get peer pressured by a bad influence, it's to sneak out of your house and go to a party. In the black community, it's riding around swerving through traffic with assault rifles in the car. So while one peer pressure may lead to you getting grounded, the other involves you getting caught up in a shootout. And then we wonder why other races feel trepidatious around us. Well, look at what we put out into the world to represent ourselves. What else are people supposed to think when these rappers talk about how much they love killing people, and that this kind of music and message is platformed by the majority of black people? The stereotype Asians are good at math is harmless. The stereotype that black people love gang shit is much more consequential. If people hold the belief that black people have a propensity towards violence, they're fine with using their prejudice and discernment and being wrong 99 out of 100 times if it saves their life once. Now, I'm going to show you why overall I have begun to get more pessimistic in my belief that the black community can be saved, because it seems as if we don't want to be saved. Here's a couple of videos from a recent TikTok trend showing off how much government assistance they get and bragging about it as if being a government dependent makes them smart and cunning, and being self-sufficient makes you a sucker.
Well, it's the 17th again. That's food stamp day for me. I placed my food delivery order last night, so it got here today at 11 o'clock. This time I got 90 items for $492. I made a video like this last time. All y'all was worried about was if I had stairs and if I tipped. Second of all, I did not tip. That's what y'all want me to say. That's what I'm going to say. Like, use y'all common sense when y'all be saying stuff in the comments. I don't give a fuck about y'all paying the taxes on these food stamps for me to be able to get them. I don't give a damn. And y'all be like, as long as the kids eat, exactly. So I'm feeding these kids with them food stamps that y'all using to spend y'all taxes or whatever the fuck y'all want to call it.
So when black people ask the question why the culture is doing so poorly, nothing highlights the answer better than the videos I just showed you. If you don't believe in being self-sufficient, there's no way you will ever become successful. If you believe it's preferable to remain poor in order to receive free government handouts, how could you possibly ever become successful? And before some triggered black people watching this video start to say that that never happens or that white people do it too, we're talking about black culture right now. It's convenient that the people who screamed Black Lives Matter got so offended when people had the audacity to say, well, all lives matter. No, they wanted you to focus on the plights of the black community. But anytime you want to discuss the root causes for the plights of the black community, then conveniently they now want to start talking about everybody else. But I discuss this stuff all the time with my barber. He's like a 50-year-old black guy, super cool dude. He's a Democrat, he hates Trump, but none of that matters. We love talking politics. He's a great guy. But I was talking to him about this problem, not because of the videos that I showed you, but from a Facebook post echoing the same sentiment from somebody that I knew. And his response was, man, you can't argue with people like that. Admitting and recognizing that this is a common sentiment in the black community. You are a fool if you are not receiving free government money. Why would I spend my own money on rent when the government will pay it? Why would I spend my own money on food when the government will pay for it? Why spend my own money on healthcare when the government will pay for it? This mindset and lack of desire to be self-sufficient will keep you at the bottom of the socioeconomic totem pole forever. Another point I'll bring up to my barber is the youth's lack of desire to do anything productive or positive. They have been psyoped by the same institutions that are keeping them poor to believe that their only paths to meaningful success is by being a rapper or an athlete. Black people have internalized that the only two things that they can accomplish are two of the most difficult and unlikely career paths to succeed in. I pointed out to him, they all have smartphones. They can be on YouTube watching free videos, courses on how to be a coder, how to develop a tangible skill that is applicable to making a lot of money in today's job market. And his response was, well, they don't see that around them, so how will they ever know? And that excuse just doesn't work for me. He's acting like black kids don't play video games. They can't look up how a video game is developed, learn the term coder, watch some videos on how to be a coder. Every one of them has a device in their pocket holding infinite knowledge for them to take advantage of. Like, the bar that we set for ourselves as a culture is so embarrassingly low. The last thing I'm going to show you, and I know I've been ranting a long time about this, is a video of a kid who couldn't be more than 10 years old, cussing and gambling and shooting dice with a bunch of other grown men.
Hey, 38. 38. 38. Front door.
He did this.
38.
All that cheating ass shit, nigga. Bring your phone. Pop your ass. Pop that shit. Pop that shit, nigga. Stop catching that shit. You cheat. How far we break cheaters? To the floor. Bet 100.
Nope.
Bet 50. I bet you 50 to the
We
floor.
go 50. No, 50 out the door.
Bet 50.
50
To the floor. I bet you.
Nope.
Let's bet more. If we bet more,
I
nobody
bet you
else
50 out the
will. If we bet more, 50.
Nah, let's 50 out the
Come on, pick your video, big grown man.
Come on then.
Cali, nigga. Always told me if you want to take a risk, go to Cali, nigga.
These are grown men participating in this. The people who are supposed to be role models to these children, set good examples for them, are allowing a kid to participate in this. This doesn't seem like a culture that thinks it's doing anything wrong. Anytime this kind of behavior is criticized, it's met with, oh, you're racist. You just don't like black people living their authentic, happy selves. It's like gang culture has intertwined itself with black culture as a whole. That's why if you dress properly, or you speak properly, or you pursue intellectual interests, you're criticized for acting white. Why is productive, respectful behavior being white? And why does unintelligent barbarity have to be acting black? It's like we've just settled on this is what black culture is, this is what it means to be black, and everybody else just has to accept it or else they're racist. Maybe people just don't like it because it's obnoxious, it's rude, it's entitled, it's violent, it's uncivilized, it's undignified, it's destructive. I believe the #1 cause of death in the United States amongst children is gun violence, and that is almost entirely due to inner city gun violence amongst children, literal teenagers. I think the solution has to start with a unified outright rejection to the glorification of gang violence. Next, our households have to return to being God-fearing two-parent households. But that can't happen unless there's simultaneously a desire to be self-sufficient adults and not lifelong government welfare dependents. At this point, black people have to save themselves. No amount of white liberal virtue signaling about defund the police or their bigotry of low expectations is going to save the day. I'm going to try to remain optimistic because I would love nothing more than to see black culture return to a place of respectability. But I don't know, because it has to happen now or never. If this generation of 14, 15, and 16-year-olds who think it's fun to run around with automatic weapons and take human life start becoming parents and having kids, the generation they produce will be cooked to a point of no return. Whew, that was a long one, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in the next one.